Well, good morning again, my garden friends. It is very early here this morning, and my husband is out for his little walk, and he's gone for almost 3 hours. He goes out and takes pictures, so it's my private time, and I just absolutely love it. As you can see, it is 6:08, 6:09, and would you believe the temperature outside is 43.9 degrees and the humidity is 85%. So here in Florida, this is very cold. It's 68 inside and our humidity is 46%. So I'm going to try and set up this little tripod that I just received as a gift. And so, bear with me. I'm not quite used to what I'm doing yet. And this is my Cocoon Nursery. Just briefly, back in 2009, I started a can of worms. I bought it from a local distributor here in Central Florida. And it's a three-tiered can of worms. If you see any of my past videos, you know that I take it apart and take out the bottom tray, and it gets cleaned out of castings, and the worms get separated and they get moved into the top and they get to work their way back down. Anyway, after watching, and it sits inside my house, so it's always temperature controlled. So after watching several worm vermiculture sites, I decided that wouldn't it be fun to just take this is a shoebox, and I used to keep my garden tools in here, and my husband drilled holes in it, and this is little screening and duct tape that isn't holding very well, but it's doing the trick. And I'm going to put that back here. And there's also holes on both sides. And again, more screen and more duct tape. So I ended up taking 100 cocoons that I could find. And I wanted to see if they would hatch for me. So I've made a couple updates. And after about, I think, 15, 16 days, I finally found the first little baby, which I have been informed are called wisp. And so, like a little wisp of a hair, she was a little wisp of a girl. Well, these are little wispy worms. So we made this up, or I made it up, and I just had some coffee grounds. I put in just a handful of soil where the worms came from. I had them outside in my Meals on Wheels that I actually was trying to use as a planter, and I wasn't able to get enough light, so I decided to turn it into a worm bin. And I'm not sure whether it would be called a worm bin, but it's an oblong planter, so, whatever. The worms are multiplying and they are happy as heck. So I took the 100 cocoons, I put them in here, put a handful of the soil so that they would have familiar soil to be hatching in, and coffee grounds, and some shredded cardboard, and eggshells, and I put in a few strawberry tops. And I think I've gotten, I'm not going to go through here and try to count wisp. That would be insane. But I haven't really checked on it in a bit, and I wanted to take you guys along for the ride. This is 6 weeks. So I'm going to try and lift this, and I notice that this is starting to get, let me see if I can move this that way. There we go. This is starting to get kind of delicate, flimsy. So, let me see what I can see. I don't see any more wisp. Except down here, I think that might be, yep. I don't know if you can see that. Could you see that one? Oops, let me see if I can bring it in closer for you. Right there. That little guy moving. Sam? There he is. He's not doing a song and dance for you, but he is moving along. Bless his little heart. I don't know if he has one, but we'll bless it anyway. So there you can see, I think there's probably more. I think that's, let me back it back off here. There, okay. Let's try this. First of all, I wanted to check the temperature. They've been staying pretty cozy. The soil has been staying pretty even with what's in the house. You know, if you're giving them a whole bunch of food, the bin might heat up, and if you're not, then you know, it'll stay pretty even. That's about 66 degrees. And let me just get, hang on a sec. Let me get my trusty little implement of checking things out. The last time we saw a few worms down here, but they were pretty tiny. The soil still feels pretty moist. There's a little guy. Oops, sorry. Dropped him into the woods. Let me just dig down here a little bit. Oh, well. There's the little guy. Can you see him? Little baby. Hello, little baby. Okay, back in you go. Don't run. There's one. And I notice I've got a little, like little crawling, I guess they're little flying things. Not just one here and there, so I'm really trying to be careful. I don't want to have a bunch of bugs in my house. Little flying things are almost like there's another one. So obviously they're hatching. There's another few. Yeah, look at how tiny they are. Now they're starting to get their little red wiggler look about them. Look at that. Such a distinctive little head coming up. Here's more. several. Ever so gentle. When you think of the world that we're living in, what a gentle creature. As they say, we are all God's creatures. Some of them, I think he wasn't watching straight on. When you see people getting so angry about so many little things. There we are. Sorry, didn't mean to bring up any reflections. We're all doing our, well, many of us are doing our best. So, patience is sometimes in short commodity. There's a cocoon. Looks like it still hasn't hatched. Let me just move along here. I don't want to keep you all morning for looking at my worms, but I can see there's quite a few through here. Little tiny. They're, I would say maybe an inch or so. Is that? I want to scoot through here and kind of give it a little massage. Goodness, I don't know what that is. You know, I've found that the cornmeal just it disintegrates. It goes very, very quickly, almost like the eggshells. And I tried using ground oatmeal, and the oatmeal, oh, this side seems wetter. And look at the worms. Look at how many worms there are. I'm sorry. The oatmeal seems to clump. I don't believe I gave these guys oatmeal. But I did it in that outside Meals on Wheels, and it looked like I had little clumps of things. Yeah, there's quite a few worms down in there. Don't know if you can see that. Wow, I would guess as I'm looking, maybe I'm seeing 40, 50. Oops, there was just a whole bunch there. Well, whole bunch, 3, 4. They're tiny. 5. More. I would just guess that I'm seeing probably 40 or 50 worms that are an inch or so. It feels a little sticky. So I'm not going to really give it any liquid, and there's an awful lot of bedding still here, so I don't think I'm going to add any more bedding to it. But I'll tell you what, let me feed on this side this time, because I think I must have fed on the other side the last time. And that way both this and the adolescent bin that I showed you yesterday, will both be, the feeding will be on the right side. Let's try to remember that one. So, our favorite, strawberry tops in a lovely pattern. La 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 la. There. Pretty. Okay. And a little bit of cornmeal. I have to say this really chubs them up. And then eggshells. Oops, that might be a little bit much, but that's all right. Well, they're not gonna, I don't think you can over-grit them. There, that looks like a nice little feeding. And then we'll just put this back on. And that poor little wisp guy who was down there, he's gonna have to find his way. This one really is kind of falling apart, but we'll tuck it in there. Pardon that sound, that was my coffee maker. And we will put this lid back on. And we'll just pat them and wish them well. So thanks a lot for sticking with me. And for the people who encouraged me to do this and kept saying, have patience. Cocoons take a long time to hatch. Have patience. I have to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you'll come back and see me again. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and garden what you've got. Have a great day, everybody. Try to stay warm wherever you are. And I hope to see you all back real soon. Bye-bye.